Hello, everyone. Wow. What a wonderful day. Does this couple know how to throw a party or what? Huh? Hi, everyone. I'm Joe. I wrote something, so I'm not going to keep eye contact. I'm just going to read it off my phone, okay? Hi, everyone. I'm Joe, the bestest man, Tom's eldest son. My brothers and I are collectively the best man, but I'm the bestest of the best men, and that's why Dad and Sam demanded I do a toast today. A few thank yous I need to get out of the way. Thank you, Grandma, for setting the example of longevity and strength that we all wish we can experience. Thank you, Jonathan Jennings. Without you, we wouldn't be here today. I mean, literally in this beautiful house, if my dad deals with customers, he gives everything away for free. So without your guidance and business expertise, Pavilion Catering and the Connecticut Wedding Group would have failed a long time ago. Thank you, David, for living such a wonderful life that even in your absence, you are still very much felt. Thank you, Buddy, Stephen, Liz, Dad, and David, for setting an example of how siblings should get along. With your influence, my brothers are my best friends. Thank you to my brothers, Tom and Jack, for being inferior sons and making it easy on Dad to choose who should be the bestest man. Before I get into a serious part of the talk, I want to play a fun game. We're going to play two truths and a lie. I'm not going to tell you which one's the lie. Good luck figuring it out. First story. When I was about 7 or 8, I decided to go play out on the front lawn, which was a nice, big, grassy hill. I decided to go out through the basement and onto the deck, and Dad was fiddling with the grill. Hey, Dad, what are you doing? Fixing the grill. I didn't want to help him. I went and played. About 10 minutes later, I hear boom, bang. I look in the direction of the noise, and there goes the grill tumbling down the hill. Hey, Dad, what happened? I fixed the grill. Next story. My favorite memory from the Boy Scouts was the Pinewood Derby car that my dad and I built, the Black Widow. Dad came up with a master plan so we couldn't lose and take home the first prize trophy. We were going to cheat and put liquid metal in the car. He pumped me up with so much confidence. For a week, we talked about how great it was going to have the trophy at home. I lost every race I competed in. We put the liquid metal in the wrong part of the car. It was unbalanced, and it was a dud. Last story. So you know my dad as the wedding guy, but it wasn't all weddings from day one. About a year into Pavilion Catering, one day the phone rings. It was the first bride that was going to trust him with her wedding day. Her most loyal friend recommended him, and she loved the venue. But there was one problem. It didn't have a brick wall. She grew up in a brick house and always dreamt of having all her photos in front of the perfect brick wall. He asked the bride, what makes the perfect brick wall? Every brick needs to be straight and level, and the wall needs to be made out of 1,000 bricks. Why 1,000 bricks? It just does. Oh, okay, but why? It just needs to be 1,000 bricks. Okay, I understand, but it kind of sounds like you only want me to use 1,000 bricks so my son can use it as a metaphor one day. This was his chance at his first wedding, so he couldn't trust anyone but himself. So he started planning on how to build the wall. He got all the supplies he needed. Once the bricks were in his hands, he knew that this was his mission to get the bride her wall. As you might imagine, laying bricks is not easy. You think all you have to do is put some mortar down, put the brick on top, and make it level. But when you put the mortar down and you put the brick on top, there's always one end that's higher than the other, so you got to tap that end down. Well, then the other end comes up. You got to tap that end down. Then it comes out of line, and you got to tap it into line. It takes forever to get a brick straight. Good thing my dad is really good with meticulous details like this. Always a stickler for small details. And he made sure every brick was straight. He made sure of it. And if it wasn't right, he took it off, start again. So it was the day before the wedding, and he finally laid that 1,000th brick. And he looked at the wall. Oh no. He was disappointed. He was shocked. 2 bricks were out of line and he messed them up. He couldn't take the bricks out. He didn't have another brick wall laying around. So he went to bed having nightmares about what the next day would bring. He was convinced the bride would cancel. He didn't even want to show up for the first wedding he was about to cancel. He couldn't face the reality of the 2 ugly mistakes he made. Well, the wedding went off without too many problems, considering it was his first one. The bride got her photos in front of the wall. She never mentioned any crooked bricks. She seemed really happy and thanked him over and over again. By all accounts, it was a success. So good luck trying to figure out which one of those is the lie. All right, so I'm going to get serious right now. My father provided my brothers and I with every chance to succeed in life. But when I was growing up, he wasn't the happy guy that you all know. He didn't dress up in costumes. He didn't have a pose he did for photos because he didn't pose for photos. He didn't take care of himself and his happiness resembled his appearance. He was a guy that was unbalanced, unhinged, and therefore unhappy. You know that saying, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree? My biggest fear was that I would end up just where I was headed, like him. I didn't like him. 15 years ago, I thought I would be given a speech for my dad around this time in my life, but I thought it'd be at his funeral. Sam, I don't know your past like I know my father's, but I know at some point you had to embrace change to end up here. Because learning is trying and trying is hard. Life is a beautiful mess, but every passing minute is another chance to turn it all around. A student of error will prevail. To get something you've never had, you have to do something you've never done. While living completely separate lives, these 2 remembered to throw caution to the wind, and they said to themselves, I have a fire in my heart, a dream in my head, and I give myself permission to go find happiness. They embraced change, and then they found each other. So, one day my dad says, hey, I'm dating a woman, and I want to introduce you. I said, okay, he's never introduced me to anyone he's dated. This lady has to be special. So I said, of course, Dad, I want to meet her. This time I was working for him, and I said, please don't introduce us at work. So one day I'm working, and a beautiful lady walks in next to my dad. I knew what was about to happen, and I was very upset. He introduced us, said hi. Even though I was upset, it gave me a chance to see how much of a positive influence Sam has over him, so I got over it. So I went about my day, packing up for the party, and I happened to be by the wall I was talking about before. I was kind of hidden, so I stayed hidden because I saw them walking up towards the wall. Dad doesn't show anyone this wall, so my interest was piqued, and I spied. Okay. I hear Sam say, what a beautiful wall. I could see the disappointment roll over my father's face. Just another person that couldn't appreciate his mistakes. He asked her, did you leave your glasses in the car, or are you just blind? Sam throws back, what do you mean? He replies, this wall is ugly. Samantha retorts, because of those 2 bad bricks? Well, yeah, I see those, but what about the 998 good bricks? His face lit up with a smile. He gave her a kiss, and they walked away. Then I started thinking. Sam was the only person that could get through to him to start appreciating those 998 good bricks. My father's mistake, not only in the wall, but in life, was all he could see as his 2 mistakes. He became blind to anything else other than what is wrong. Most people are pessimists like my dad. A pessimist is someone who always sees the two bad bricks in life. The optimist sees the 998 good bricks. The realist sees both. Sam, your realistic optimism came into my father's life like a tsunami, and I love you for it. I love you both for it. Dad, you inspired all of these words today. I love you so much. I don't need to call you my best friend or anything else like that, because I'm already too proud I get to call you my dad. You've done so much for me that when I sit down and try to think of things to thank you for, I come up with a billion. But in writing this, I realize I shouldn't be thanking you. I need to thank Sam. Thank you, Sam, for influencing my father to become the dad I always wanted, and for bringing your perspective into our lives. You two have found a balance and happiness I wish I can have someday. Thank you for being you and for giving me an example of what a healthy relationship is. I love you. Now, let's toast to happiness and this lovely couple.